Hi there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by. Thanks for watching another episode. As always, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your support. Today, what are we going to do? Well, we'll take a look at two verbs in Dutch. We'll take a look at the difference between doen and maken, alright? But before we do that, if you like this content, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. But without much further ado, let's go straight for our grammar lesson. And basically, how are we going to do this lesson? Alright? Well, basically, again, you'll see the verb. We'll start off with doen, and we'll take a look at the different meanings of the verb doen in Dutch. I'll give you a translation every time, and then we'll take a look at some examples so we can make our life easier. Alright? So we'll start off with doen. Doen is basically to do in Dutch. In English. It's basically to do in English. And in the first case, we're going to take a look at the verb to do, doen, when it causes something. Alright? We'll take a look at the examples and we'll make our life easier. De operatie zal niet veel pijn doen. The surgery won't hurt a lot. Alright? This is the correct English translation, but now I want to give you a bad English translation. And why do I want to do that? So that you can understand what the verb do actually does in this sentence. De operatie zal niet veel pijn doen. The surgery won't do a lot of pain. Alright? So do pain or cause pain. So as you can see there, the verb doen is basically causing something. And in this case, it's pain. The second one, je doet me lachen. Correct English translation, you make me laugh. Wrong, bad English translation, but useful for grammar purposes would be je doet me lachen, you do me laugh. Alright? So, do, in this case, causes for someone to laugh. So it causes something. That is the first meaning of the verb doen in Dutch. We go to the next one, and the next one is maybe the most common translation for the verb doen, and that would be to do, to execute, perform an action. Let's take a look at the examples and make our life easier. Ik doe mijn werk graag. I like to do my job, alright? I like to execute my job. That's it. Ik doe de deur open. Okay, I open the door. Bad English. I do the door open, right? I execute an action and the door opens, right? So, in this case, doen is to execute. We go to the next one, and this one is a little bit more typical, and that would be to behave, alright? Je doet zo raar vandaag, okay? Translated in correct English, you behave so weirdly today, alright? Bad English, you do so weirdly today. Alright, doesn't make sense, but doen can sometimes also be translated as to behave. Mijn buurman deed vervelend gisteren. My neighbor behaved annoyingly yesterday. Again, deed is the past of the verb doen. As you know, it's an irregular verb. Ik doe, ik deed, ik heb gedaan. These are called the strong verbs in Dutch, and unfortunately, to know this, you have to learn them by heart. But again, doen, deed in this case, can be translated as behave or behaved. We'll take a look at the next one, and that's basically doen when we refer to a previously used verb. Now, what does that mean? Well, we'll take a look at the examples, and I'm sure it's going to be clearer from then onwards. Heb je de kamer al opgeruimd? Have you cleaned the room already? Ja, dat heb ik al gedaan. Yes, that I've done already. Alright, so opruimen is our first verb. Heb je de kamer al opgeruimd? Have you already cleaned the room? Okay, opruimen is to clean. Now, I could have answered, ja, ik heb de kamer al opgeruimd. Yes, I've cleaned the room already. However, sometimes you don't want to repeat the same verb, and then you can use do. And you can say, ja, dat heb ik al gedaan. Yes, I've done this already. Right? So then we are referring to a previously used verb. That's it. We'll take a look at the next meaning of doen, and that's basically to put or to place somewhere. Alright, so what does that mean? Again, the examples will give us a little bit more of clarification. Ik doe altijd confituur op mijn boterham. I always, bad English, do marmalade on my bread slice. I always put, better English, marmalade on my bread slice. So in this case, you're putting marmalade on the slice of bread on the bread slice. All right? So in this case, doen is basically placing or putting something somewhere. All right? So these were the meanings of doen, to do. Now we're going to take a look at maken, because sometimes people confuse them with one another, and in this video I would like to help people in order to avoid this mistake. So maken can be to do, but it can also be to make, all right, in English. Now the first meaning of maken we are going to take a look at is creation. We are creating something. For instance, at the moment, ik maak een YouTube video. I am creating a YouTube video. Pretty straightforward. Of hij maakt elke week een schilderij. Every week he makes a painting. So he's creating a painting, all right? He's in the creative process of making a painting. So the first one, maken, you will always use when you're creating something. And that's the difference with doen, all right? Doen is basically, most of the time, performing, executing an action, whereas maken is more creative, all right? That's the first difference. We take a look at the second one, is basically to provoke a state, most of the time an emotional state in somebody else, all right? For instance, dit geschenk maakt me heel blij. This gift makes me very happy, all right? So before I've gotten the gift, my state of mind was neutral. Now I've received the gift and that made me happy, all right? So it provoked an emotional state in me, state of happiness, which is pretty good. All right, then maken can also mean to provoke a different state. So for instance, maak me om 8 uur wakker. Good English, wake me up at 8 o'clock. Bad English, make me awake at 8 o'clock. So in this case, you're provoking a different state. It's not emotional in this case. You're provoking a woken up state compared to the state when you were sleeping, because you got woken up. All right? Maak me om 8 uur wakker. All right? To provoke a state can be emotional, but it can also be a different kind of state. Okay, so that was the second meaning of the word maken. And now we take a look at the third one. All right? Maken can also be to repair, to fix something. For instance, het scherm is kapot. Kan jij het maken? Bad English, the screen is broken. Can you make it? All right? Good English, the screen is broken. Can you repair it? All right? So in this case, maken can be translated as to repair. And that's also one of the difference between doen and maken. Doen will never mean repair. All right? So what I've given to you now are basically some general differences between doen and maken. Of course, in the Dutch language, there's some exceptions, all right, where you can use maken, where you can use doen, but the aim of this video was basically to give you the general differences, so you have a general view of what the difference is between maken and doen. All right, so this was the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. I want to thank you again for watching. Give it a like if you like this content, subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. If you want to help out the channel, go to the description box, click on the Buy Me a Coffee link, and I will greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. I want to wish you a great rest of the day, and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1.